Alright guys, so I'm gonna give y'all the whole story. So, as y'all know, I have, if you haven't watched the other videos, I will link them down below, about the previous CPS case and the CPS case that's going on now, which is not one, because they closed the whole thing out because they had me all the way messed up, because I'm not the same girl I was back in 2017. Okay, it's 2022. Okay, I'm older, I'm wiser, I got more children. But what was I about to say? Oh, so they came and they arrested us on April 14th. They came into my house and they had an arrest warrant. So they put my husband in cuffs. My husband was yelling because I was in the bed with my daughter. I had just got out the shower, you know, we ate, we did everything, so we were relaxing. And I hear him yelling. And I'm like, what's going on? He said, the people are here and they said they got warrants for our arrest. And I said, oh my God. So I'm still stifling because I'm in a little 90 like I am right now. Y'all can't see it because, you know, that's not for y'all. But I'm in a little 90. And so I go to the door and I'm like, what's going on? And they immediately snatch my husband out the door. And they have him already in cuffs outside. And the man brushed past, you know, the female detective, Miss Alicia Richardson, which I'm like this. Everybody that did what they did, oh, trust me, I'm just trying to wait until everything is said and done. But, oh, trust, it's not over. Somebody is going to be held accountable for my children being traumatized for no reason. Oh, trust me, somebody is going to be held accountable. It's not over with the family court people. It's not over with Miss Detective Richardson. It's not over with anybody. Not Miss Susan Sharper. It's not over. Because my children shouldn't have had to be traumatized for them to go Tuesday morning and find out that everything was closed. The Dcfs attorney, looked and was like, so you closing everything? Everybody? And she looked at her attorney and she looked at the judge and she said, yes, Your Honor, I'm closing everything except for Nevaeh pending pickup for her grandmother, who we all know is not coming to get her. I just found out from my aunt, and I'm not going to say no names, that my daughter was not only abused, tried to commit suicide, she also was locked in a room to the point where she had to wear pull-ups. She had to wear pull-ups at night because she would not let her out to use the bathroom. What kind of animal is that? And they say, oh, well, your husband, we have a court order. My daughter is saying everything. She is 13 years old. And she told me how a judge bribed her. All this is coming out. It's going to come out. Bribed her into saying that she didn't want to come home. Bribed her and told her basically that her mother and her father would go to jail if she says the truth. that she made everything up and that she was coerced into saying these things. Trust me, this stuff is gonna come out. And they dropped my husband's case. Detective Clemens put out a warrant so fast. She put out 2 warrants for the same person. And it wasn't 2 counts. Like, I don't even know how Florence County Sheriff's Department got off with putting 2 warrants out for the same count. All this is going to come out. And when it does, trust and believe, everybody is going to be held accountable. I mean, my children were traumatized. They were screaming and hollering and crying because they wondering why their parents, their good parents, are being taken away from them. And Miss Susan Sharper tried to come up in here knowing she had absolutely nothing. She come up in here to testify. She said that my house was clean and had lights. She's been in here. She's been in here numerous times. She's been in here numerous times. And you come up there like, oh, you didn't know that I had food, I had water, I had lights. I had food and water and lights when you came in here the first time. You thought you was going to come in here and violate my rights and thought, oh, well, I have to do a walkthrough of your whole house. No, ma'am, you don't have to go in my room. You could walk through my kids' room. You could walk through my kids' bathroom. You could walk through the kitchen. You could walk through all their rooms, the living room. You don't have to come in my room because my room is my privacy and my chamber. My kids come in here, they don't even stay in here. They don't sleep in here. They come in here, they ask me whatever they're going to ask me, or if they need me for something, they come in here. They don't even come past the door. Now, sometimes I'll let them come in here and lay in the bed, and that's only for a short period of time. But my kids do not be in my room like that. So why would I let you in my room if I don't let my own children in my room? That is my privacy. That is my time. That is for me and my husband. Not saying that I have anything in here that will harm my children, but some things I have in here is for my privacy. Like, I have certain explicit pictures on the wall. I have certain things in here that's not meant for kids, and that's where I'm supposed to have it. I'm supposed to have it in here. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody is adults. Everybody has their, adult things that they like or that they do, and it's not for your children. I'm an adult. That's how I made kids. Now, if they want to come in here, like I said, and ask me something, or like me and my oldest daughter, we was laying in here, but she was laying in here with me. My kids do not come in here by themselves like that. My daughter was just in here. She was laying down watching TV. And that was only for a good 30 minutes. I do not have my kids in here. And I was still back and forth in here because I have things in here. And I'm not even talking about, like, sexual things. There was no other way to put it. I'm not even talking about like that. I'm talking about, I have medicine in here. I have, things that you do your nails with, chemicals, nail chemicals and stuff like that. Even though it's nail polish remover and everybody gets it, you still don't want your children to have access to it unless you're supervising them. I have allergy medicine in here that you spray up your nose. I don't want them to have access to it. So, therefore, this is my domain. This is my privacy. I protect this. This is my privacy. And she was like, oh, no. I'm going to put down that you didn't allow me to walk through your house. If I can tell you anything, if I can give you any tip, it would be, do not let them walk through your room. Because that is on you. Okay? You allowed them to go into your private business and see what's in your room. So if you have, let's just say, an explicit item in your room, and they take a picture of it because it's in the nightstand right beside your bed, you allowed them into your privacy. If you have an ashtray and it got cigarette butts in it and it's on your nightstand, you allowed them in your room. You allowed them in your privacy. And you could say, well, tobacco is legal. The first thing they say is, well, it's somewhere where a child can access it. And you can't say, well, that was in my bedroom. Why did you allow them in your bedroom? And then it becomes your word against theirs. So do not allow them in your room. You can allow them to walk through your living room, the kids' room, take a picture of the refrigerator. If they want to take a picture in the living room, if they want to take a picture in the kids' room, if they want to take a picture in the bathroom. Say you only have one bathroom. I have two. But say you only have one bathroom and my kids only have access to one. Yeah. They don't use my bathroom. Now, I did allow my oldest to use it sometimes, but that was very rare because she's 13. So she knows, do not go searching and digging in mommy's stuff. And even after that, I usually come and use the bathroom after her so I can see, if my stuff was mishandled by her or anything like that. But my little young ones, no. They use the front bathroom because we can easily see them. Sorry, my phone said I got a missed phone call from my husband. But, yeah, I can easily monitor them and I can easily look after them and see them. If I'm in the living room and they're in my room, I can't see them in the bathroom. Like, I can't get to them quick enough. I still monitor them either way, but if I'm not in that bathroom with them, they don't take baths in that bathroom at all. And I don't allow them to take baths in that bathroom. And now, unless my son is in the other bathroom and they want to take a bath in that bathroom, then I'll monitor them in that bathroom. But they do not be in my bathroom. So that's the point that I'm making, guys. Do not allow DSS, police, law enforcement to violate your rights. Your rights as a person. If somebody does not have, if they say, oh, I have an arrest warrant for you. Okay, you have an arrest warrant. So we could step out of the house, you could put your cuffs on me, and you could close my door behind you. But do not allow them to sit up there and search your house, because an arrest warrant and a search warrant are two different warrants. Now, unless they have, they could get them both, and I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a search and something. I don't know if it's called a search and seize or something like that. But they could get both of them, or they could get one and the other. But if they do not have a statement that says searching something or a statement that says search warrant, do not allow them to search in your house, because you're allowing that person, whatever it is, it could, like I say, it could be a sexually explicit item, it could be some cigarette butts, it could be a medicine bottle that, you know what I'm saying, you had on your nightstand. It could be anything. And they could use that and say, oh, well, this was in reach of the children. I learned this the hard way. Okay? I had an empty Tylenol bottle. It wasn't even in my room. It was in someone else's room. But I allowed the DSS worker to use their room as a room to go in and talk. And that was on me. Well, they used said bottle against me. I didn't even have, that person had a weapon that they used for protection. It's illegal. It's legal. It was a machete. And I didn't even know that they had it in their room. But, you know, the worker looked around and scoped the place and basically took pictures without even my knowledge. They was just snapping pictures on their phone while talking to me. And one of the pictures had the machete in it. But that was their privacy. And it was a couple that stayed with me. They were real close to us. They were considered family friends. But that was their privacy. And they used that against us and said it was in the reach of children. And we were like, that's their room. You know, that don't know, none of my children was able to get in their room. They locked their door. They did have a way to lock the door on the outside. And nobody went into their room. Well, they still used it against me because they said that being that the door didn't have a proper lock, they do anything. They could say anything. They could do anything. And that's what's wrong with this system. The system is broken. This DSS supposed to be welfare of the child is broken. It is not for your children. It is not for your grandchildren, your great-grands, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. It's not for them. Because once they done destroy whatever they want to destroy, it's done. It's over with. According to them, they don't care. But that's my one little tip. Is I'm suffering from allergies, guys. So if you see me sniffling and like doing like this, there's nothing. As you can see, I can breathe. There's nothing, but I just feel stuffy and congested. Allergies, they're lovely. My eyes are watery. But yeah. So that's all I have to say about that tip. Is please don't let them walk through your room. Or it could be, like I said, it could be a friend's room. Especially not a friend's room. Okay? And if you have a private bathroom, don't allow them in that bathroom. Don't allow them in that bathroom. If there's a bathroom designated for your kids, they should be wherever the kids are most of the time. So if your kids have kids' room, living room, private bathroom, playroom, that's where they should be at. That's the walkthrough they should do. Your room, your bathroom, your mother's bathroom, mother-in-law suite, guest bathroom. They don't need to be in that. Okay? They don't need that. What's another thing I can say? Another thing is that you can't record everything. But if you can, get everything in text message. Get everything you can in text message. Get everything you can in writing. Get everything you can in some form of visual proof. If you get a video of them, get the video. But I mean, some courts allow the videos and the voice recordings, some don't. So if you could get it in writing, if you get it in text message, if they could write it down for you or whatever, get it. Get it, because I'm telling you, they will twist and turn everything around on you. You might say, oh, I wanted to, if y'all hear my daughter, it's because she's spoiled. She's going through some things, okay? Right now she upset because, like I said, I don't have my children in my room like that. I don't have them in my room all day, every day, because, like I said, I have things in here that last time I let my children in my room for 15 minutes, they broke my bed. Right now, my bed is broke. Not because of them, but because me and my husband was playing around and we broke the bed. He jumped on the bed and the bed went and now it's just breaking apart more and more. But and it wasn't even this broke before me and him got arrested. So that's another thing. I don't trust people. I don't know about you. I don't trust people. People could break up your stuff too. CPS workers, law enforcement, they could break up your stuff too. And trust and believe they ain't gonna replace it. So, I don't, they out here breaking people's arms and stuff. And they don't do nothing about that. What you think they'll do to some furniture? Okay. But, yeah, so that's my tip on that. Just don't let people into your private business. Because they have no right to be. Yeah, but she's upset because she can't she can't watch TV in my room. And they just love my bed. They love my bed, even though it's just, when I tell you this damn thing is broken, it is broken. Okay, I can't even show you. But yeah. What's another thing? Another thing would be, don't tell people your business. Don't tell people your business. And what I mean by that is, don't tell Cousin Joe from down the street, girl, my lights was off for a couple of days and I hurry up and turn it back on. Let me tell you something. Cousin Joe will take that information and go tell them. Cousin Joe will tell them, oh yeah, she said her lights was off and she got them 4 children down there and they living in the house with no lights. Cousin Joe ain't gonna tell them that you said, oh well, I cut it back on and I did what I had to do. No, Cousin Joe ain't gonna tell them that. Cousin Joe gonna tell them the bad parts. Cause Josie, you get a check, okay, for them kids. I see this person and that person, they got them some foster children, and I'm thinking about, and what people don't understand is once you get that foster child, you have to take care of that foster child. That child gotta eat. That child gotta sleep. That child gotta get clothes. And that child gotta go to school. That child gotta go to doctor, dentist, all that. And they think that little check is going, do all that and more. And it don't. And as soon as they figure out it ain't, that child don't go to the dentist. That child don't get no clothes. That child don't eat. A whole bunch of stuff. Because guess what? They got to supplement that. I thought I was getting some money. I ain't signed up to take all the money and use it on the child. And see, so much of these DSS workers, they don't look at that. They don't care about that. Because guess what? They could take their check, their bonus, and they don't have to spend none of the money on the child. And they get bonuses every time you sign up for a case plan, a CPS worker, they get a bonus. The state goes, well, here's some funds in order to help you find out if that child has everything it needs. They take that bonus, and I done seen it happen. Because I had a caseworker, her name was Miss Christina Wright. I done seen it happen. She went and took that bonus and she bought a car. She was riding the bus. We seen her at the bus stop. Right after my daughter and all my other my son went into care. My daughters and my son went into care. She was riding in a new Ford. She pulled up to the court in her brand new car. So they do not care. And I said what I said. They don't care. Like I said, these people came in here April 14th, and they locked me and my husband up. They took me and my 3 kids. They took me and my 3 kids, and I was sitting there watching my kids. They run back and forth, being children. But they took me, my husband, to jail, and they took my 3 kids, and they packed them up. Hurry up. And they packed them up. In number one, I've never seen it even done like this. They packed them up in the investigator car. The investigator, the Detective Richardson, took them to the DSS office. For what? I don't know. Because DSS don't even do it like that. Took them to the DSS office and left them there. The DSS director spoke to my father-in-law, who kept yelling on the phone, "Hey, I'm 15 minutes away. Just let me come and get them. I'm 15 minutes away." He was telling my oldest daughter, who was 13, he was telling her, hand the phone to the detective. Hand the phone to the detective. She kept telling him, the detective won't take the phone. She won't take the phone. I'm telling her, Grandpa, that you're on the way. She will not take the phone. That is not protocol. The director of DSS told him that is not protocol. We do not take children into the foster care system unless there is no one there to pick them up. He said, what I'm finna do is I'm gonna pack them back into a car and I'm finna take them to you. My children were packed into a car with random strangers because this detective, Alicia Richardson, wanted to put them into the foster care system. And you're telling me that this system is there to protect children? She wanted to put them into a home where they did not know anyone, because she packed them into a car with complete strangers. My son is 2 years old. He's 2. He didn't understand none of it. And when I tell you, I am going to hold everyone accountable, I am. I was petrified. And it's no reason why someone has to worry as to the power that someone feels that they have over you. Now, all these police officers, and when they get arrested and they get imprisoned for abusing their powers, they wonder why. They start crying and they pleaded. Why? You felt you had so much power. If I put my $100 on anything, let's just say we're gambling here. If I put my $100 on something, and I know if I lose, I'm going to lose $200. So I have to pay an extra $100. I'm going to make sure I have all my ducks and chickens in order, and I make sure I look at the facts, the stats, all that. When you bet on something, ain't that what you do? You look at the stats of everything. You look at all the evidence. Okay, this person, this horse has been, we'll just use horses, but this horse has won this amount of races and had this many losses. So you do your percentage. You look at all the stats and the evidence. You don't assume, oh, because he won the last race, so he should win this one. She sat there and told us that she read the first couple pages of the case in Georgia. Ma'am, I tell her, my case was a year and a half. A year and a half. I know you ain't read no case in a few couple pages. I know you didn't. Couldn't be. When a case is a year and a half, I know you didn't read no few couple pages and assume that you just knew all about us. But that's what she did. She read that my son was not allowed to be around my husband. Well, why the hell is he here? She read that my daughter, Nevaeh, the charges, number one, wasn't even right. The charges that she read was, what was it? I think child endangerment or child being around in the custody of domestic violence, something. No, baby. My husband's charges was family violence. They were saying that he was beating everybody in the house. And them charges were dropped because, if you hadn't noticed, I go teeth and nail for that man because that man ain't never did nothing to harm me. At least nothing that I ain't want him to do. Okay? And my daughter told you, and the lady, Miss Sharper, she is safe around my husband. And one thing about it, even when you have a domestic violence person, no shame to the domestic violence people out there, because I was in a previous domestic violence relationship before I even got with my husband, and I had so many scars and tissues from that. Didn't nobody interfere in that, and nobody come save me from that. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Anywho, if you're in a domestic violence relationship and you put out charges against that person and you drop the charges, the police officer is supposed to listen. Is supposed to listen. Unless the circumstances require for the DEA to pick it up, the person who investigates the case is supposed to listen. Now, I'm not saying that the charges were true, because they weren't. But I'm saying, if my child is telling you, who is 13 years old, she is telling you that she is safe, she was never harmed. Do the math. This is why you're a detective. I swear. Go watch you some Sherlock Holmes, baby. Go do some detective work, because you ain't doing none. If you see a child been here for almost a damn week and ain't got a scratch, bite, mark, looking healthy, got her hair almost done, guess what? Then you sped up. She sped up to the damn precinct when she come and pick up. She sped up to the precinct and she take my daughter into the office. And I know you asked her. Ms. Richardson. I know you did. Nevaeh, do you feel safe around Mr. Cupid Jackson? And I know she told you yes. Girl. But like I said, baby, you ain't got to worry about it, because you might have got away with telling them people about some court order that if it was so upheld, how the hell did they give me unsupervised visitations? And I know what's in my court order, baby. You ain't got to tell me. I was in the second to last, and they had to. They had to give me unsupervised visitation, because let me tell you something. I wrote the state on the judge. So I know what the hell she put in the thing. She had no choice. Ma'am. Won't tell me, I know what she put in there. No, I do not have a copy of it. And no, I did not go to the last court date, because I was 5 months pregnant with my next child. The hell, who's now 2. He is now 2 years old. And he ain't never had a scratch or bite, mark, and you know, God bless his little heart, but he got a heart murmur. And best believe, them people was like, oh, you got to take him, hurry up and take him here, hurry up and take him there. My children are truly excuse my language, my children are truly blessed and anointed. That doctor told me he gonna grow out of it. Don't bring him back here no more. And you can check with Dr. Kimberly Oxley, Georgetown Pediatrics, baby. I tell you, no lie, my kids is of the utmost health. But if you read the case so much, why don't you go down there and read that case and find out that Yolanda wasn't taking good care of Jonah, Eden, and Nevaeh? How Nevaeh was getting reports in the foster care system that she was coming to school with holes in her clothes. She was smelling like onions. She didn't have her hair properly done. And how about my daughter Eden? She had a bug jump out of her pamper at daycare. A bed bug. But she wasn't sleeping with me. She had pink eye numerous times. She had diaper rashes numerous times. To the point where the doctor wrote up a report that says this child got severe scarring from having numerous diaper rashes. She still got the scars. Did you read that? Oh, I don't think so. I think you would just rather read that a strong black man who is married to a black, strong woman is abusing his child. That's what you would rather read. Because I don't understand why you would pack up 3 children in a car to take them to a DSS office when their grandfather was on the phone with you the whole time telling you he's 15 minutes away. Somebody better hold these people accountable. Somebody better do something. If it's not about race, if it's not about, all this black and white and purple and green, if it's not about that, hold somebody accountable, because I'm pretty sure if it was someone else, it wouldn't have went down like that. Come on. Now, let me know if it was somebody else and somebody else protected their child. Took their child. Yeah, I get it. I took my child against her wishes. Well, guess what? She was also locking my child up in the room at night, making her poop and pee like she an animal in a diaper. She was also telling my child things like, "Oh, you ain't nothing but a waste of sperm." And you talking about mental abuse? Emotional abuse? If you look at statistics, because I ain't nothing slow. If you look at statistics will tell you emotional abuse is worse than physical abuse. When someone emotionally abuses you, it lasts longer, hurts worse than any physical abuse. What can I help you with?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I just heard you going in. I was worried about you. You talking about?
No, I am making a video. What do you want?
Sorry.
I know that kind of stuff turn you. Get out of here. Anywho, that's my point. Close the door. It lasts longer. And it hurts a lot worse than someone just, slapping you or hitting you or, spanking you or whatever they do to you. Because that sticks with you. So, and that's why he popped up in here, because I get so upset. And my husband knows some of the trauma that my own mother and my own father put me through. And I didn't want that for my children. And these people sat up here and told me that they were going to look out for my child in this system. And this man come once a year. Once a year. Can you imagine? You only see one person once a year out of this prison that you're in, because that's like a prison. You know, she put me in this holding cell. And I sat in this holding cell for what seemed like forever. But I sat in here for 14 hours. 14 long hours. So can you imagine somebody locking you in a room all night long? You can't get water. You can't do nothing. You can't even pop out just to feel unclaustrophobic. And, you know, I look at it like this. That my Lord and Savior was showing me what my daughter went through. And nobody should have to feel that way. I mean, even the fact that I had a toilet in the holding cell. I can't imagine. I didn't even want to use the bathroom. So I can imagine that her feeling some type of way, because she wasn't locked in the room alone, mind you. She was locked in the room with her uncle, a man, a whole man. I couldn't imagine. And my mother has no remorse. She has no remorse for it. And they lied. These DSS workers sat there and lied. Lied to a judge. And said that my mother is coming to pick her up. And they know, and I know, my mother is not going to face those kind of charges. Because they want to lock me up for protecting my child. What you think they'll do to her? Because somebody, like I said, somebody got to be accountable. So they try to do it against me because they don't want it to come out. Georgia does not want it to come out that they placed this child in obviously a mentally unstable home. Because if you look at my mother's psychological evals, you look at her a background check for CPS, yes, she had 14 cases that they had to expunge. 14 cases. And you wonder why I had to give her guardianship. By the way, I wanna just elaborate on that. So the lady had me feeling some type of way. Because she said, Miss Alicia Richardson, by the way. She said, your mother was given legal custody over Nevaeh. She said, I see here that the judge approved her for permanent guardianship. That you did not give her custody, that she in fact won custody from the judge. Let me tell you something. Guardianship is I gave her permission to raise my child. I looked up the definition, and maybe you should too. And it means for one parent to give another guardian or parent guardianship over a minor child. I mean, these people had me thinking that. I was like, what? Did they take away my rights? Is my rights go? No. I agreed that my child could be raised by my mother. And it did not mean that I was allowing her to treat her as she did. It means she could get food stamps, she could get welfare, she could put her in school, she could take her to the doctor. But as far as mistreating her, allowing random men to come into her life, and I don't want to hear, oh, when it comes to that stuff, they hurry up and say, oh, it's Georgia. That's Georgia. That's Georgia. No, ma'am. You gonna take all of it because you took all of it. You went outside of your jurisdiction to hurry up and put me in jail. So therefore, you took the whole thing. And I want accountability. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Oh, I'm going to get it. I don't care who I got to go to. I don't care if I done already put in for some things, baby. And I don't care what function I got to go through. Trust me. I done found out y'all don't even have a commissioner's office. That's okay. Y'all got somebody y'all got to answer to, just like I got somebody I got to answer to. Even if it's just God himself. Best believe a lot of people that was in that last messed up case plan and CPS case, the last people that was in that, you better check for them. You better go check for them. Miss Christina Wright, yeah, she done decided to lose weight and be a fitness coach because she's no longer a CPS worker. Miss Jimberlyn Washington, she got fired as well. Miss Quadrica Hogan, she was DEA, Internal Affairs. She no longer works at, Fulton County DSS. Yeah, because she never worked there. Okay, you got Miss, what was her name? Her first name was Love. I forgot the last name. She was the counselor for my daughter. She was not qualified. She was also let go. And guess what? Miss Jimmerlin Washington came to me one day, and I was sitting in visitation. She said, can you do me a favor, Miss Thomas? I said, what's that? She said, can you stop writing to the state office on me? She said, because every time you write to the state office, I have to write a 4-page letter explaining why we still have your children in custody. And you know what I told her? I'm going to continue. Yes, ma'am. Because I don't understand why you still have my children in custody. Right after that, she gave me Jonah and Eden. And the judge decided that she was going to take Nevaeh in the chambers in front of the state. And she came out of the chambers and she gave Nevaeh a gift. It was a book bag. Nevaeh gave me the gift. And I to this day, I don't understand why I didn't say anything right then and there. But I didn't. I took it as, you can't help but to trust these people. And like I said, it's not about black and white or purple or blue, because let me tell you something, I had a black judge, Miss Christina Wright. She was black as well. So it's not about black or white or purple or blue. I don't want you to think that. I'm just saying Miss Alicia Richardson did some things that I don't think it was in her character to do. Okay? I don't think, because this glare from my glasses is irritating me, I don't think that she would have did that if it was a different situation. If I was a different person, I don't think she would have did that. And I said what I said. And I said what I said. Now, when I was on the way, I have to keep my glasses on, guys. I'm sorry. When I was on the way, you see the explicit picture? Lord, I gotta try to hide that. But yeah, that's why I don't allow my kids in my room like that. But I was on the way to the prison, the jailhouse, whatever you want to call it. And the man kept saying, you gotta talk to the detective, because that just don't seem right. You have to talk to him. Well, he finally got her in there, and he pulled her to the side. And I don't know what he said, but I just know the expression on her face when she came in there. It was just like this. Let me show you. You'll be let out tomorrow. You'll be let out tomorrow. There's nothing to worry about. You'll be let out tomorrow. And I just looked at her, and I said, where's my children? And she said, well, they were placed with foster care, so you'll have to talk to Dcfs about that. I said, so they not with my father? No, they were placed with a foster family. I said, so upon my release, what happens to my children? She said, oh, you'll get them back. Upon your release, they're going to release all of them to you. I said, okay, well, what about Nevaeh? Where's Nevaeh? Oh, Nevaeh, she was placed in foster care with them. They're all together. She said, oh, by the way. She looked at me, and I said, yeah. She said, I placed your dog in the pound. I had nowhere to take him. You know, there was no one to care for him either. I just looked at him, and this is my facial expression. And in my head, I said, you didn't ask me if I had anyone for my children or anyone for my dog. Ma'am, you packed up my children and you packed up my dog, and you gonna be held accountable. I hope somebody, really talks to you and tells you about what you did. Because I know if I was this terrible mother and I was this terrible person, I would have, regardless if y'all couldn't, find me, everybody has someone. I can't take it. Everyone has someone that they have to answer to. Whether it be God or whether it be, my eyes are tired. Red eyes. But whether it be God or whether it be just yourself, you have someone to answer to. And like I said, if you know what you thought you knew, you would know that I ain't the one to be really fooling around with. Because I'm going to make sure. So after said court case, they released the 2 children. And I feel like they did this on purpose. Because they knew me and my husband, they made us lose every job, every good thing that we had, they made us lose. My husband had a job working 7 days a week. He was bringing home $750 after taxes. Not $750, $787. Dang that $800 after taxes every week. Then he had Lyft that he was working on the weekends. So that would bring in another $200-$300. Because on top of everything that we had going on with the counseling and the parenting classes, and he had anger management, and we had visitation separate. He had visitation with Eden, because they wouldn't allow him to see Nevaeh and Jonah. Oh, excuse me, sorry. He had visitation with Eden. I had visitation with Nevaeh. Excuse me. I had visitation with Nevaeh, Eden, and Jonah. And then I had visitation with Eden with him. So, on top of the 4 times a week that we had to have visitation, we had to pay for said visitation because we were not allowed to take them back home, which is a normal routine and protocol. We were not allowed to take them back to our house. We were not allowed to have them in our home, even with supervision. We were not allowed to have them in our home. So we had to take them numerous places, which cost money. We were able to take them to the parks most of the time, but when you know, have rain or weather inclements, you had to take them somewhere else. And you don't want to tell these people that, because of the rain, you know, we're not going to make it. Or because I don't have, you know, any money to be paying for to going out to eat. You don't want to tell them that. So you had to figure it out. Through all that, we figured it out. Like I said, he worked full time. I was home most of the time, alone most of the time. Just in case, you know, somebody counsel wanted to come over. Sometimes Miss Wright used to pop up at the house, and I had to make a plea against that because that is also not allowed. They're not allowed to just pop up to your house unannounced. But Lord, sorry, I had to get a tissue. Yeah, they're not allowed to pop up to your house unannounced. And they did that. So, through all of that, I was able, baby. I'm telling you, when it come to my children, and they seen that. So I'm like, you know, Miss Richardson and Miss Sharper, when it comes to Nevaeh, baby, best believe I will go to war. All these things that you did to me, I'm going to get justice for. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to get justice for. Whether it be through God or whether it be through the system. I'm going to get justice for what you done to my children, what you doing to my child, what you doing to me and my husband. Because we sat on eggshells the whole time. And nobody should have to feel that way if they're protecting their child. And you sat up here and you said, oh, well, if you did it the right way, what is the right way? The right way would be to let her run away? Would that be the right way? The right way would be to listen to all the blackmailing that you did, Miss Susan Sharper, and brought her, and I have text messages to prove it, baby. I'm going to get you for blackmail. You messed up when you text me that. I'm going to get you for blackmailing me. Yes, ma'am. Listening to the blackmail, taking my daughter back there, knowing that she was going to run away or harm herself, like she told you. And I told her, it's not going to come to that. As long as I'm her mother, it's not going to come to that. Now, I don't know what you do with your grandchildren that you told me about, or your children, therefore that had your grandchildren. But I know one thing. If your child told you the same thing, or your grandchild, you would go to war for them if you're a good parent. If you're a good grandparent. You're not just going to take them back to their abuser. You're not just going to take them somewhere knowing that they'll harm themselves. If you do it the right way, you have the means. I know what I have. In my logical mind, the right way is to remove the child from the situation. Ain't that what y'all do? Ain't that what your job is, ma'am? To remove the child from the situation? Not sit there and try to, oh, well, let me try to call a lawyer, or let me try to call the police that I called before and gave it over to the DeKalb County DSS that did absolutely nothing. Saw the pill bottle, took a picture of the pill bottle, took a picture of the lock on the door, and dismissed it. No, ma'am. I don't think that was the logical thing to do. When I want my daughter alive and healthy, I don't think that's the logical thing to do. Don't tell me, oh, well, they would have just removed her, because they didn't remove her from that situation, did they? And if she runs away, it's Georgia's problem. You have nothing to do with that. It's Georgia's problem. I'm so sorry. No, ma'am. My child will not end up like all the missing persons, all the children. Like that missing child that DSS did nothing about. Yeah, that little girl. I can't remember her name. If somebody remember her name, please put her name down in the comments. That missing little girl that the mother was allowing the janitor from school to take and do God knows what with her, because he was bringing her, buying her clothes and bringing her food and all that. No. What did y'all do in that situation, ma'am? Did y'all help that little girl? How about the child, the girl that just went on TikTok and killed her 2 children? Did y'all help her? Because from what I heard, that was in South Carolina. Did y'all help her? No, y'all did not. Instead, she went on TikTok and killed both of her children, talking about she trying to help them. Those are the cases that you need to be focusing on. Yeah, this woman called me and told me, she said, you see them 3 children that you have in your house? And I wish to God I recorded it. I wish to God I recorded, but let me tell you something. I do have that text message that you sent me, and I'm not deleting nothing, ma'am. I have that text message that you sent me talking about Yolanda is expecting Nevaeh in Georgia by 8 a.m. Let me tell you something. That's blackmail, ma'am. You blackmailed me. Then you went in family court thinking that you can clean this up and you can sweep it up under the rug. Let me tell you, I'm not a sweep up under the rug type. And that judge looked at me and he said, if somebody was giving my children back, let me tell you, Your Honor, I wanted to say so bad, but I'm not going to because judges overuse their power too. But I wanted to say, Your Honor, this lady sat here and told me she was going to do all this if I didn't return my daughter back to Georgia. If I didn't return my daughter to her abuser, who I know that she was going to run away from, she was going to either kill herself, she knew it too, and she wanted me to take her back there. Now, this is becoming ridiculous. If somebody don't fix this messed up system, I'm tired now. And every day I'm my husband's looking out the window and we worry about who knocks on the door, because we have a business. So a lot of times people knock on the door for us to sell them something. But we have to worry that next knock is going to be somebody like this. And I don't understand. How is the victim scared? My daughter was scared. She didn't want to go to the door. She's away from her abuser. Why should she have to be scared again? And Florence County will not release my baby. She has come up here and publicly said that she does not want to be in the foster care system no more. And I don't blame her. I don't. Because if y'all allowed a woman to lock her up in a room and y'all took a picture of it and let her commit suicide and y'all care, if y'all letting people sit up there and kill their children on TikTok, obviously. They talking about defunding the police. How about you defund Dcfs? Just the part where they supposed to take care of children, because they don't. Defund that. I might start a movement. Defund, everybody say, defund the police. Well, how about defund the DSS workers? Just the ones, like I said, not the ones that's over there. They don't do too much either. They don't help families too much, but they do all right. They do what they supposed to do, which is nothing. But how about the ones that's going out here to these homes, ignoring reports, not helping the children? Instead, they see healthy children. Because tell me this. Hold on. Tell me if I'm wrong. You decide that you were going to take my 3 kids, pack them up in a car, take them to DSS office, after Miss Susan Sharper says if you don't return Nevaeh back to her abuser, which is her grandmother, Florence County DSS will take you and your husband to jail and will take your children and place them into the foster care system. Then I spoke to this woman on the phone the same day I got released. I spoke to her on the phone, Miss Susan Sharper, and I asked her, I said, what did Miss Alicia Richardson want me to call you for? She told me to call you upon my release. So I'm calling you to ask you, what is it that she wanted me to call you for? She said, I don't know. I haven't spoke to Miss Alicia. I said, ma'am, she wanted me to call. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's pertaining to your kids. I said, okay. She said, look. I said, look, I'm just calling you because she said I had to call you upon my release for my children. Oh, yeah, so this is how this works. Miss Jackson, hello? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'm just telling you how it works. I said, okay. Well, the way it works is we're going to have a probable cause hearing on Tuesday. I got out on a Saturday. On Tuesday, somebody will call you Monday. Someone, I don't know who. Someone will call you Monday and tell you. I said, ma'am, well, normally it works like, Miss Jackson, can I finish? I said, well, I just want to. Miss Jackson, look, if you're going to overtalk me, I'm not going to finish this conversation. Okay. This is how it works, Miss Jackson. You will have a probable cause hearing on Tuesday, and it might be my supervisor, it might be my director, but right now I'm off. I'm off of work. Guess who called me on Monday? Miss Susan Sharper. And she called me to tell me that she was taking me to court at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And she had to do one final inspection. Which, I'm no dummy. You had to do that inspection because that's protocol, number one, in their books. And how I know protocol? Because I went through a whole case for a year and a half, and they had to spit out every protocol that they had to do. And they were trying to bucket. They figured out all kind of loopholes to try to jump through the system. And Miss Sharper thought she was going to be one of them. Let me tell you what she did. She said she had to do one final inspection because she was vouching for my 3 children to come home. When you were the one who said, if I can lock you and your husband up, I'm going to take those children. Let me tell you something else that happened on this phone call before I get to more into detail on that. She said, I said, well, what's your probable cause? You'll find out on Monday. I said, no, ma'am. I don't need to wait until Monday to find out what your cause you feel is to present to the judge. She said, well, our probable cause is that no one was there to pick up the children when you and your husband got arrested. I said, but my father-in-law was on the way. Well, he wasn't there when you got picked up, so. Okay. And another thing is, you took Nevaeh across state lines, so without the grandmother who has legal custodial custody, you took her across state lines without her permission. So that's another thing for Nevaeh. I said, okay. I said, so how does Nevaeh have to do with my... They all tie in together, Miss Jackson. No, they don't. How? Because, you know, like I said, you'll find out. We have all our things, and we're going to submit them to him on Monday. So you'll get a call on Monday for court. I said, okay. I see that you keep putting me on hold so that you can talk to your family, and then you come back and you ask me questions. I said, well, ma'am, you know, I put the phone on mute regardless, because no, I see what you're doing, and today is my day off, so I wasn't even supposed to answer the phone, but I figured that this call was about my case, and you know, I want to take care of my case, and because it is my case, so I just figured I'd answer the phone as a courtesy, because I like to take care of my cases. I said, okay. So is that all? Is that all you want? I said, yes, ma'am. And she hung up the phone. Now, and when I speak loud like that, that's how she was talking. I went ahead, and this is going to be a long story time. I went ahead, because we're already an hour in, and I'm not editing this video. No. But, I went and I thought about what she said, that she was vouching for my children. And I said, you're not vouching for my children. In my head. I didn't say this to her because she'd just get upset, and who knows what that woman is capable of trying, because she was capable of blackmail. So I don't trust that woman anymore. Miss Susan Sharper. And so I said, you're not vouching for my children. What you're going to try to do is, you told your supervisor, well, we have to do a final inspection before we turn the kids home. But since we're doing a final inspection, we might as well try one last time to see if we could get some pictures. Because not only did Miss Alicia Richardson step outside of her job. Now, I can't say it's illegal. What she did is illegal. But I can say she stepped outside of her job and took my children to a DSS office and had no reason to. But she also illegally searched my house and found some things. And I'm not going to say what those things are, because number one, I don't know what those things were. But she claimed that they were allegedly drugs in my home. And I was not there. My husband was not there. So I was confused. Because it is very illegal for any person. It could be a judge to illegally search your home without your permission and without your knowledge. And she admittedly illegally searched my home and said pictures or whatever she gave, I don't even know, but whatever she had, okay, to the DSS workers. I was furious because You illegally searched my home. Now, I came back and I found my home in dismay. I found my home in dismay. And I said, what in the world were you looking for? What were you searching for? Like I said, I don't know if they, like, messed up my bed or broke my bed. Because all I know is I laid on my bed and now it's broken. Like, it literally cracked. So, I don't know if they was under my bed and messing with my bed. But I know my house was in dismay. There was things thrown all over the floor. Like, my husband's things, his, because he has his gaming channel. His gaming channel things was all over the place. Stuff was all thrown on the floor. And, mind you, my father-in-law said they didn't grab any diapers, no wipes, no clothes, nothing. The kids came with nothing. So what were you searching for? Illegally, in my home. And she said her supervisor was here. So therefore, what were you in law enforcement, Miss Alicia Richardson, looking for in my home while I was not home? Illegally. Without my knowledge. And I say what I said. And I meant it. Because I was not home. So whatever you put up in here or didn't put up in here, I don't know. Tell you the truth, I had to search around my house to make sure ain't no bugs in my house. There might be still something in here. I don't know. I might have to tell my husband go look around. Make sure ain't nothing out of place. Ain't no bugs up in here. Because that is illegal, ma'am. That is against my human rights. You cannot illegally search my house. Miss Alicia Richardson. And whoever Miss Susan Sharper's supervisor is, you can't either. And take pictures of any of my property without me being here. Anywho, so like I said, they thought that they was going to come in here and they was going to search my house one last time, and I was going to have my house in disarray. And I was going to have my house all, nonchalant, whatever they thought. And they was going to come in my room. I said, no, you're not going to come in my room. My room, yes, is, it got stuff in it. Especially that, like I said, that picture on the wall. But it's my room. They're not going to come in my room. Because my kids don't come in my room. Unless I'm supervising them. And that's not for long. So, anywho, after that, now I have to go to court. My husband has to go to court to basically fight for the fact that we were protecting my child from a sick-minded abuser. Because if anybody knows about any of the other previous cases of the girls that were locked into a room and they had to use a bucket or whatever, that's animal-like behavior. That's monstrous behavior. And I'm just appalled at how Florence County Sheriff's Office, Miss Alicia Richardson, is dealing with that. She's dealing with the fact that my daughter was treated like that and as if it's nothing. And she throws up the fact that she had no jurisdiction, but she went outside of her jurisdiction and personally got a warrant. So that she could pursue charges on a mother. And she claims she's a mother. She claims that she has a child who was sick. And she has, motherly instincts. And if you do, then how would you feel if someone locked your child up? I'm not trying to threaten your child, because best believe I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Because a child is innocent. And you are able to sit there and prosecute a mother for protecting her child. You say, oh, well, y'all didn't do it the right way. The right way was for y'all to get an attorney after your child attempted suicide. Not once, but twice. And not even to my knowledge. Attempt suicide. Try to run away. Yeah. I don't think a mother would make that decision. I don't think a mother would sit there and wait for a court system that takes months and years to finish a case, a custody case. When you're in an emergency situation, what do? You rush to the scene of the crime, right? You don't sit there, you don't wait for them to, oh, save me. And you're out there in the ocean and you jump off the boat. You gonna sit there and wait for somebody to jump with you, or you gonna try to climb back on the boat? Or try to get to the life boat or whatever you gotta do. If your boat is sinking, what are you gonna do? You gonna sit there on it? You gonna wait? Tell you something. I don't wish this on nobody. And I just pray that justice prevails. And I'm going to fight. Anyway, guys, that was the full story. That is fully what happened. Like I said, if you missed my previous videos, please check down below. I'll have my previous videos. I have my previous CPS case. But basically, yes, I was blackmailed into trying to get my daughter back. And because I did not take my daughter back to her abuser, They locked me and my husband up and tried to put my kids into the system. Miss Susan Sharper and Miss Alicia Richardson from Florence County Sheriff's Office in South Carolina. Now, if you can, share this out, get this out. But, yeah. They tried to abuse the system. And I need justice. Bye, guys. I'll see you in the next one.